Hi, my name is Amy Dragonfly. Welcome to my first video of Amy's World. I want to try to start a video blog on my life, and I am bipolar. I'm an addict. I've also moved 5 states away from my home state. I moved from New York to Florida during the pandemic, and I wanted to touch base and tell my story the best that I can to hopefully help somebody else. I got some things going on between being bipolar, having a mental health issue, and also addiction. I'm also a domestic violence survivor, and that's really hard for me to admit, even though I have not been with my abuser since November 2019. So, yes, I wanted to start a video blog and figure out how I can help somebody. There has been a lot of overdoses and suicides in the past year since the pandemic started. I want to put out awareness of those issues. It's very dear to my heart. I might cry, considering I almost was one of those tragedies last summer, 6 months after I moved to Florida. There are so many issues surrounding the government. This is not a anti-government blog whatsoever. It's just the way the pandemic happened, and the countrywide shutdown has shut down every place and every doctor for a time being for self-care. It was so hard for people who were going to meetings, groups, whether it has to do with mental health, domestic violence, addiction, alcohol, all the groups that people rely on, people like me rely on, was all shut down. All counseling was shut down. They hadn't figured out how to do the video thing yet. I'm hearing impaired. I wear hearing aids in both ears, so it's hard for me to talk on the phone. I do better video chatting face to face. Until they had all that set up, I was still looking for a doctor. I moved January 2020 to Florida from New York State, upstate New York, which is about where I'm from, is Saratoga, which is halfway from New York City to Canada. Yeah, it's pretty cold up there. Like I said, my November 2019, I left my abuser. He broke my face. I had a black eye. They thought I was going to be blind in that eye. I loved him fiercely, and if I didn't move 5 states away, I would have gotten back together with him. As a matter of fact, a year later, I thought I wanted to get back together with him, and he still scared me. He didn't do anything, but I was scared. If he raised his voice or said something a certain way, and I don't want to live my life like that. I don't want to live my life in fear. I forgive him for everything that he's done to me, because I know he did not do it out of mean and spitefulness. He has issues. He has anger issues, and he never got help for it. And then me being an addict probably did not help. So, let's see. I'm going to try to keep these 10 minutes short. Everything has been rough Actually, my whole life. I got hit by a car when I was 14, suffered with depression. I never told a single soul about my depression. Not all through high school, not all through my 20s. I never got any help. I just thought there was something wrong with me. I was never happy. Good things would be happening around me. I felt like there was a dark cloud following me everywhere I went. I could never feel the happiness in here. My mother, she's a great lady. You know, she's Italian, French Canadian, super stubborn. And she's a believer. You never let the world know how you're feeling. And I was never allowed to lay in bed with my head under the covers and skip school or anything like that. Always get up with a smile on your face the world, whether you feel like it or not. So the term fake it till you make it, I have that right down to a T. I've never, understood people who were severely depressed that couldn't get out of bed. I would have a day where I would watch TV and, maybe be depressed and feel it that way, but anyway, so I was married at 28. I had my first miscarriage at 29. He and I were not doing very well as husband and wife, but that's besides the point. I still suffered a miscarriage. I lost my baby. It was a very traumatic experience. I'm not going to go into details because it's still very hard after all these years for me to even talk about the details surrounding the miscarriage. All I know is it was a nightmare. And I'm not saying I'm any special than anybody else going through miscarriage. Everybody has a different story, a different, outcome. Mine was so bad that the midwife got fired. I was seeing a midwife instead of a doctor because that's what I thought I wanted. And she made some mistakes in how she dealt with my miscarriage. She could have figured it out early. A brief hit on it briefly. My husband and I went in for a sonogram. She said the baby was moving too fast for her to get a heartbeat. Well, technically, you're supposed to do another ultrasound right then and there, but no. So we left all excited. A week or so later, I had my miscarriage. And if I wasn't so sad and depressed, I would have sued with the way they handled everything. I spent my 30th birthday in a mental hospital. My husband and I separated. I tried to drink myself to death, but didn't really work out that way. I tried to commit suicide. I took a bottle of pills and just looking at the time. I took a bottle of pills and didn't know where I was when I woke up the next morning. I didn't know who I was, what day it was, or what I did. It took a long time to get it back. So I went to the mental hospital and stayed there through my 30th birthday. Happy birthday! I went on to have 3 more miscarriages by different people. Found my first addiction with drugs when I was 31 years old. Somebody introduced me to a drug called crack. I took it and I ran with it. I wasn't at a poor person's house, not that crack judges, but that's what people's mind automatically goes to when you talk about crack. Poor, you go to not so well off people's houses. I never would have found it at, I never would have thought I would find it at a yuppie party. People who made money. So anyway, I hope you continue to log on to my blog. This is Amy's World. My name is Amy Dragonfly, and please tune in next time. Thank you.